Hi, everyone. Welcome to Write Our Way, which will be hosted by fictional writer Patrick Starks. If you have not read the description below, these podcast discussions will be surrounded around writing short stories and novels, discussions of storytelling through film, using comparisons from the 80s and the current movies we see today, as well as discussions about how these movies impact our lives, or if not, why. If you are a writer, a reader, or neither of the two, who is looking for some inspiration, a little motivation, something that will get you excited about writing, something that will help you develop and feel confident in your own style, then you have come to the right place. My friends, welcome to Write Our Way.
Hello everyone, welcome to Write Our Way. I'm your host Patrick Starks, and today we will be talking about how to prep your days for writing. And more so, how can we get those creative juices flowing? Now these are just personal guidelines that I created myself to help me on the days that I write, and I felt that these guidelines will help you all as well, so here we go. Number 1, when waking up in the morning, stay away from your phone, and most importantly, say no to social media. The reason I say this is because this is a mood/vibe breaker, ladies and gentlemen. Waking up to your phone or social media at 7 a.m. in the morning, like I did, can really destroy your positive outlook on what you want to achieve for the day. My friends, trust me when I say you don't want to start your day off with the mindset of others. You absolutely want to start your day off with your own mindset. You should be starting your day off with the things you want to see and the things you want to feel. Now, my days do vary depending on how I'm feeling. Sometimes I feel that getting up and going for a nice jog in the morning really gets my creative juices flowing. It's like when I'm jogging, my mind just kind of wanders off. And it's sometimes in these jogging moments, I come up with some of my best material, surprisingly. I mean, they're not lying when they say nature has a way of inspiring us in some way. So even if it isn't a jog, at least go out for a short walk. Give yourself some fresh air and a moment to not think about the worries you have and just think about the things you're thankful for or excited about. To add to this, I would say another option if you don't like running would probably be one of my favorites, in fact, meditation. I feel just as much as we need to get up and move around, sometimes it's also good for us to slow down and go our own pace. I know a lot of us here are working 9 to 5s or have worked 9 to 5s, and well, those kind of jobs most of the time can be pretty stressful with the deadlines and whatnot. And so, with meditation, there isn't really necessarily a deadline. So you can kind of go at your own pace. You can start into whatever time. I would definitely say on your days off, take advantage of this. Take advantage of meditation and calm yourself, calm down, and, as the Buddhists would say, eliminate the monkey mind. My friends, we cannot write if our minds are in different area codes. We need to be present within ourselves, within our stories. Okay, so that was the easy part. Now that we've put our phones away, now that we've meditated or taken our nice little jog or walk even, now we have to plan out our day. So for the preparation of your day, I like to start off with a tea or coffee. I'm usually a coffee guy, so if tea is what you prefer, I'm not against that. I sometimes do tea as well when I don't want the coffee taste, because I know that can get old over time. But once you're done brewing your coffee or steaming your tea, whatever you fancy, you'll then pull out your spiral notebook or journal, pretty much whatever you write in that you plan or brainstorm. Typically, what I like to do is think about what I want to write about, or even what projects that I want to work on, or even what projects that are still in progress. Now, choosing between the two is rather simple. What you will be determining is simply deadline. Now, what will be priority, that will be up to you to decide. Now, I'm sure a few of you will probably say that I'm crazy, that I need to get my book finished and that my book should be priority, and if I don't make it priority, it'll never get done. But unfortunately, this is not my priority. My priority will most likely for the day, especially if I'm going to the library, it's going to be my blog posts, my short stories that I post. And typically the book will still be worked on during the day, but it won't be the first thing that I will work on right away. And this is simply because, again, of deadline. My blogs, my short stories have a much shorter deadline than the book. The books, like we all know, books, especially if we're working on novels, like they can go out for like a year or two. But for short stories, especially blog posts, that can be done weekly. And so if I'm going to start a new week off and I'm doing a blog post, then I got like probably 4 to 5 days at best to get it done versus my actual book that's going to be most likely stretched out for like a year or at least half a year. So I got time, I got months, years, obviously. But just adding to that, I mean, your journal or your notebook can be used for more than that. I mean, I've had ideas of short stories or even books that have crossed my mind and I never wrote them down. But I do now in my notebook or my journal. And I'm telling you guys, I'm telling everyone right now, do not do like me. Please, if you have any ideas, do not let those juicy thoughts go to waste. Like really write them down because you will regret it. You will wake up one morning and be like, oh my God, I had such a great idea, but now I don't remember it. So please utilize your journal, your notebook to as well write down those amazing thoughts you have in your head, and not just write them down, but like write a little description about them too. Because sometimes if you don't write the description down and like kind of like write like half a page of it if you can, if you have time. This can be done at work, even if you're at work. Just make sure you write them down. So then when you have your writing days or your days off, you can come back to that and say you're finished with your blog post already. You can kind of, or you've already finished working on your book a little bit. You can kind of start dabbling a little bit with that new idea that you had before, but it's kind of impossible to dabble in something that you've forgotten about, right? So I'm sure you guys get the picture on that, what I'm saying here. Yeah, so just this journal and notebook thing is a very important and essential thing for us writers to have. And I wouldn't just say for writers, I say for people in general. Like we just really need to utilize writing. It is such a huge tool for us as human beings, and I feel like we don't utilize it a lot, and that's why sometimes we can be very forgetful and forget a lot of things. So groceries, anything, write it down. So now that we got squared away for today and we got everything prepped, now we have to think about location. And this is one of my favorite topics, because location is so important as a writer. I'm not even going to say you guys have no idea, because I'm sure you guys have a pretty good idea what I'm talking about here. And so when we're speaking about location, I think we all know what I'm going to say here. And that's basically the key to this location is silence. Now, this isn't always true. And I mean, it can't always be done. But I feel at times when I'm in situations where there isn't much silence, over time I've become very adaptive to it now. And so just a little noise doesn't really faze me too much, but I'm sure for people who have written in silence for most of their life, that even the tiniest bit of sound, just people, just having a little whispery talk, can really annoy you, especially if you don't have anything else drowning that out. Again, it's kind of like what I was speaking about before about not picking up your phone early in the morning and looking at social media. It's like we don't want other people's conversations or their thoughts in our head, because we're trying to pull from our own thoughts to create these stories. So it's very important that we do have that silence in the beginning and even during the times that we're working on our craft. Now, I'm sure all of you are wondering, what may these places be? One of my favorite places, I'm going to say hands down, is the library. The library is probably going to be the best place for you to get silence, although I will say, as of 2022, libraries don't necessarily feel like libraries anymore. People have kind of converted libraries into being a little noisy. Yeah, I'm not going to really go too deep into it. I have a lot of personal issues with that, but I'm not going to go too deep into that. But it can be hit or miss. To avoid this, I mean, the only other option would be most libraries, if not all of them, have private rooms that you can check out for like about an hour or two. I didn't say check out. You can reserve them for about an hour or two and basically be immersed in your own silence, which is a really great option. And I'd highly recommend that, especially if you really have a story that you really need to think deeply on. Get a private room, because I'm going to tell you right now, the noise is going to come. There's going to be people that's going to come in groups, and they're going to want to talk, and they're going to tend to be a little loud, a little vocal. So that's an option. I mean, the only other second alternative that I can probably tell you guys is probably headphones. I usually like to bring my headphones with me just in case. That's another way to drown out other people's voices. Usually I'll just put it on YouTube or something and put it on like some chill step or some steady music, and that is better than hearing like actual conversation. I tend to think that hearing other people's words can get in the way of your words. So I mean, having something like violin or something playing in the background isn't going to really throw you off too much, especially if you have it on a pretty mid to low volume, because it's not actually putting out words that are interfering with the words in your head. It's just calmly playing music. So sometimes it can even set you to a nice pace of your thought where you can think even more deeply depending on what you're listening to. A lot of people say Mozart is a good one for writing. I've listened to Mozart before. You really can get really deep with Mozart, but I mean, there's other stuff. I mean, sometimes I'm not into the classical music so much when I'm writing. Sometimes I like to play a little chill step, not dubstep, chill step. So it's a little bit more subtle than the actual electronic music or EDM or whatever. So headphones, ladies and gentlemen, that is another option. So say you got all your writing and whatnot and your project's done for the day. I would say the fourth tip that I can give you guys for the whole entire day is basically setting some time for yourself to unwind your mind. Basically giving yourself some time to put down the writing and not think about stories or think about anything that involves writing. I would say kind of unwind your mind and let it be freed. Watch a small short video on your phone. This is a good time where you can bring out your phone. Actually, you can look at like a video, like a funny video, or go on YouTube or Instagram, whatever you fancy, and kind of entertain yourself. Let your mind be free and not be in this intense, serious moment where you're trying to like really dive deep, because I think sometimes that can be a little stressful too when you're putting your body through this intensity and diving deep for long periods of time. That's why the meditation is good too, to like let you kind of get out of that frame of thought. And I think as well too, if not listening to music or watching a video, this is a good time to actually put in another few minutes of meditation. I mean, what I tend to do is I usually like to give myself a change of pace. Like, I don't really go off and meditate or really listen or watch any videos. What I'll do is I'll go, learn something else. Like, instead of writing, I might put my stories to the side. And like today, I put my stories to the side, and I've been having this little bucket list of mine that I've been going through, and I've been wanting to learn another language and be bilingual. And so Japanese was, of course, my choice, because I'm super into anime and a lot of other things that involves the Japanese culture. And so I put my writing to the side, and I just started studying Japanese, and I started going online and just taking my course and doing that instead. And just doing that alone, ladies and gentlemen, is a good way to free your mind from writing, and it gives you a different pace of the day, and it really makes you feel accomplished for the day, because it just like, you get your projects done, you get your writing done, but then you also like learn something for the day. So it's good to like learn something else that you don't even know. And so the final piece, everyone, once you've really finished unwinding your mind, or as I said, learning something new, this is the final step. This is the time to reflect. This is the time to journal. and really think about what you've accomplished for the day and what you're excited about doing for the next time that you have this moment to have this kind of a day. I mean, journaling's got to be a very huge part of a writer's life. I'm sure all you guys can agree with me on this. It's one of those things you really have to kind of check in with yourself and make sure that you're on the right path. For those of you who know me, I'm very big on staying the course, staying on the right path, and not being led too far astray from the things that you want to stay on course with. And journaling will definitely help you stay on that course. And sometimes even what I like to do is, in my journals, I've gone back like months or years later and kind of read what I've written, and I'm just like, wow, okay, so I still have been on track. Or I can go back and see where I got off track, where I got a little derailed. And it's nice to see that, because you can kind of see like what makes you, you can see your boiling points. You can kind of see what makes you tick, like what is it that really throws you out of your zone. And then you can begin to work on how to not run from those things, but kind of like go around them and kind of be like this brick wall and say, I'm still going to go this way because this is what I'm destined for. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to be. And I'm going to keep going to it no matter what. And so I'm telling you, everyone, please, like, if you don't have a journal, really get into journaling, because I promise it will help you a lot in your life. But most importantly, everyone, these 5 steps that I've told you all, I promise that this will also help you with your writing journey as well. It's helped me out a lot. I would actually love to hear some of you guys' thoughts on like what you use to prep for your day and what's helped you in your writing journey. That would be amazing to hear from you guys on that. And as always, guys, I'm telling you, it's always such a pleasure speaking with you all. Again, we're all going to do great things out there. We have many works of writing to share with the world, and we can't keep them suppressed. And I'm telling you guys all right now, like, I want to see it from you all. Just keep putting it out there, keep putting out the material, and keep loving what you do. And most importantly, become a child again. Imagine, my friends. Talk to you all soon.
Hope you all enjoyed and had something to take away from today's discussion. To find out more about our lovely host, Patrick Starks, and even some of his writing works, go to www.paycark.com. That's www.paycark.com. Stay tuned for the next episode of Write Our Way, and have yourself a fantastic day.